Don't forget about PayPal, keeps us on the air. After our GG was first sworn in, she took a trip to the Middle East. $100,000 on airplane food for her staff and her hangers-on and friends. I was on a show here, and I said, you know what, she's new to the job. All those minions in Ottawa are telling you to do this. She's a woman of common sense. She's going to learn. I'm not sure she has. Jay Goldberg is with the Canadian Taxpayers Federation. He joins me right now because I'm sure you'll agree. She hasn't learned her lesson, has she?
Well, she hasn't learned her lesson, or those scheduling all of her events, whether they're in the Prime Minister's office or her own office, certainly haven't learned their lesson when it comes to wasting taxpayer dollars.
How about Iceland?
How about Iceland? Well, they spent $71,000 for fancy limos for the Governor General to get from where she was staying to the event she was at. Now, the event was a 10-minute walk away. This was for 4 days, $71,000.
So clearly she hasn't learned. She's becoming, the king of England doesn't spend that much money on limos.
I couldn't tell you how much the king spends, but I'll tell you, $71,000 over 4 days to go the distance of a 10-minute walk, that to me is a problem.
And I understand it's her second trip to Iceland. How much does Iceland mean to Canada?
Well, I think there's an important question to be asked, too, about what role does the Governor General play? When it's serious questions of policy, people want to talk to the Prime Minister. They want to talk to the key cabinet ministers. What is the Governor General really there to do in terms of achieving policy outcomes?
So, Jay, what is the Taxpayers Federation doing about this? You have a petition, don't you?
We have a petition on our website. It is the biggest, most popular petition, taxpayer.com. People are really fed up with the Governor General, with the wasted money. We've seen this for at least 5 governors generals now. They have a office payment system where their expenses are paid until 6 months after they've died. And this is for former governors general. So we keep them on the payroll. They have an office for their entire lives. Adrienne Clarkson has been expensing money like crazy since she left office 20 plus years ago. And so this needs to change.
So there's expenses. And there's also a salary, isn't there? Around $200,000?
No, it's actually closer to $350,000. She got a big raise during the pandemic. And again, we have to ask, what are we getting value for money?
I think you're absolutely right. So is there something like with the Bourbon kings in France that, off with their heads, or just going to cut them off from their Versailles and all their palaces?
Well, I think step number 1 is for the government to figure out that this is not the right approach. The Canadians are hurting, that they're facing inflation and high interest rates, and we don't want to see people in government officials flying around the world spending a ton of money. We need to see common sense at Rita Hall.
Jay, thank you very much. $71,000 for a limo for 4 days, 3 minutes. I know that many of you viewers are experiencing tough times with those pointless Trudeau taxes. You're watching every dollar. So are we. We run a very lean operation, which is why I'm asking this question of you now. If you know of any companies who want to advertise on this station, good people watch it, as you know, from coast to coast to coast. Please let us know. And in the meantime, please subscribe and PayPal.